Next, on this episode of The Nice Guys on Business.
For our clients currently, no one has the data that we do. We know what questions people are asking and how to ask them. So we're able to program it as soon as they open that. As of today, ChatGPT and any of those other engines are not limitable, nor are they instanceable. Meaning I can't create an instance for a particular client and then limit that chat and train it to answer chats using the data we have. As soon as that date happens, then it's going to be a floodgate. But then it just comes down to who has the best data.
You don't need to see their identification. These aren't the podcasters you're looking for. These are the nice guys on business. Go from where you are now to where you could be. Get expert tips to grow your business, to be more productive and more efficient, whether you're trying to build influence, grow your community, or make it rain. Best-selling author of Nice Guys Finish First, Doug Sandler, can lead the way. The Nice Guys on Business is produced by TurnKey Podcast Productions. Now, here's your host, Doug Sandler.
Right out of the gate, I was corrected, but Ted did it in a nice way. So we're talking today to Ted DeBettencourt, and not only does he have a cool last name, but when I first started using the service that he provides, I was calling it artificial intelligence, and he was actually being very kind, and he renamed it, which aptly so, genuine intelligence. That was correct, isn't it? That's right. Did I say it right?
Genuine
Ted?
intelligence. That's right.
Okay. So if you've ever used AI for your marketing, email writing, or writing code for websites, you know the powerful tool that it could be. The challenge is that there's no human element in artificial intelligence. So I wanted to bring on Ted, who has created a very cool company. And Ted, the name of the company is, fill in the blank here.
Juvo Leads.
Okay, so I went over to his website. I checked out Amy. Now, I didn't check out Amy for anything other than her genuine intelligence that she was able to provide. And I was thinking I was talking to a robot until I realized I wasn't talking to a robot. I was actually talking to a real person. So imagine adding the effectiveness of artificial intelligence and having a human element, not two, but instead of. Enter two guys who met and share at a shared co-working space, Ted and Nick. They co-founded a company, one of the fastest and easiest ways to increase the number of leads your website earns by providing a human-answered live chat so your visitors' needs are met, and they're met quickly, just as my needs were met by Amy today on their site. Here to talk about his company, I'm talking to Ted DeBettencourt. Welcome to the Nice Guys on Business podcast, Ted.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
All right, man. Let's dive into this, because originally when I went to your site and I was checking it out, by the way, Nice Guy Community, juvoleads.com. We'll make sure we put a link in the website, in the show notes for that. I went there and thinking I was going to run into the typical chat bot that was there. But again, you gently corrected me and you said, this isn't a chat bot. This is a person. So tell me a little bit about how the concept came together. And then I want to dive in to ask a whole bunch of questions of my own curiosity.
Yeah, happy to do so. So we like to say we're butts in the seat, not bots in the cloud. So we are human-powered chat answering. What that means is we got real people that sit there and answer website chats on behalf of our clients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So it's human-powered, not ChatGPT, not bot, not AI, just real people sitting there answering chats and qualifying leads.
All right. How do you bring that to a scalable level where somebody that might have a lot of volume or maybe even no volume, how do you do that so it makes sense for them as a business owner or as a website, in general?
Sure. So great question. So we're a good fit on only some types of businesses. So businesses where a lead is worth a lot. So think law firms, and law firms are about 70% of our clients. After that, it goes high value home services, think roofers, flooring, and then elective medicine like chiropractors, orthodontists, and then lastly, retirement homes. We're big in the senior living community. Essentially, what we do is we go on the site, we chat with the visitors, and we get them more leads because we're able to take those conversations and to turn them into qualified leads. We have to prove to all our clients that we work with that they're getting more leads because of chat. So we give everyone a free 30-day trial so they can see that number for themselves. And then at the end of the 30-day trial, we basically say, here's how many leads we sent you. Here's how many, here's what the cost would have been. What do you think? So we let them make the buying decision after they see it in action for 30 days. And what generally happens is they're getting anywhere between 40 to 60% more net new leads. And we know we make a big claim that you're going to get 40 to 60% more leads. That's why we give them that 30-day free trial so they can compare apples to apples, before and after, and see how many leads they got because of our chat.
I love this. And I love the kicking the tires thing. And I love your level of confidence that, hey, look, this is what we do. We've been doing this now for how long has Juvo Leads been doing your thing?
About 7 years now.
Okay, so you've been doing it for 7 years. You're tried and true. You're tested. You're over I'm in a startup phase and I'm, trying to figure out, does this actually work or not? I'm not scrounging around to try to find, people to work, to sit in the seat to actually answer the question. And I got to get quality people in the seat also, because it's not just getting a butt in a seat. It's quality butts in those seats.
Yep.
So I want to tell you a little bit about my experience because I think it was really cool. I went to your site. I started asking, I saw that on the lower right-hand side of your website, there was a, little thing that said, hey, you want live chat, just click here. Now, automatically that brings me to a position where I'm now having communication with someone as opposed to just kind of browsing the site. So can you take me from there, what generally happens? Because I think that was number one, a huge advantage over what, people generally have on their own websites.
Yeah. So what we do is we like to play a video of the business owner, the firm owner, whoever, the website owner on the bottom right. We use that to kind of build know, like, and trust marks with the visitor. They see the video, they like the person, they click it, up pops Amy, Steve, Rebecca, whoever our avatar is for that website at that time. We start a conversation. Hi, I'm Amy, Steve, Rebecca. How can I help you today? So we actively engage each website visitor because most chats don't start by saying, hi, I want to become a lead. They say, hey, I got this question. Can you help me with it? So we take that question, answer it, but then ask a series of follow-up questions to qualify each lead based on the rules that business wants us to qualify leads for. Once they've been qualified fully, we send it to the business in the way they want. We can book them on a calendar, send them an email, upload it to their CRM. We can even call them or text them with the good leads.
All right. I'm going to ask some dumb questions because that's basically the perspective that I take about everything. So I'm going to ask some dumb questions here. So question number one, let's say I'm a business owner and I'm going to lower the veil here for anybody that's in our community. That we do this all the time because the reality of it is there's certain things that Strick and I know as business owners of TurnKey Podcast that we do exceptionally well. And there's some things that we do that are frankly really shitty. So I'm going to talk about the really shitty things that we do. We have no idea of any traffic that goes to our website at all, because that's not really where we generate any of our leads from, or at least so we think. So where do you start with a client or a prospective client that jumps into the game and says, hey, they're giving me 30 days free. I want to kick the tires myself. Do you ask questions about volume of traffic that they have going to their site? Is that even important to you at all? Tell me what's important.
Sure. So we need to how I see it is we got 30 days to knock their socks off, not by our quality, but by the amount of leads they get. So we need businesses that are getting at least 500 visitors a month or spending $1,000 a month in paid traffic in some form. That's a minimum for us, because if we go live for 30 days and they get 3 leads, even if that's 3 more leads than they would have gotten otherwise, no one's going to be impressed by that. So we like working with businesses where they say, hey, Ted, we know consistently we get 20, 30 leads a month. So then we go live on the site and they're getting 50 in a month. It's an easy win, and they can just see that value and see how many more leads they're getting. So we do need a little bit of traffic to prove and really knock it out of the park with that 30-day free trial.
Okay. All right. Well, then again, dumb question number 2 then. Now, I know that we have web traffic, but I know we also don't generate many or any leads from our website, but we do get traffic that goes to the site. So is there a way to determine, but we don't pay for any traffic that goes to our site. So is there a way to determine volume of volume of people, of visitors right now, so that you can make an analysis to determine, hey, this company TurnKey or this company ABC Roofing Company is a company that I want to even step into the game with?
Yeah, we usually use, SpyFu, Ahrefs, SEMrush, just to kind of throw it in real quick and get a traffic estimate. None of those tools are perfect, but if we see, 50 visitors a month, probably not a great fit. If we see 500 or more, or even in that ballpark, we're happy to chat.
Okay, that's interesting. So part of the game is you are not in the market for and again, correct me if I'm wrong, because dumb question number 3 is who doesn't make a good fit for you? An early stage entrepreneur, I would assume does not make a good fit for what you do.
Not always. And, it depends on the type of business. So we're really good in the B2C space, but in the B2B space, we're not as strong. So we know if we're on a site where we have historical success with, the home services, the lawyers, the doctors, that type of stuff. We know we go on their website, we're going to get a lot more leads. On the B2B stuff, like, we have about 100 agency partners or so. We're on a lot of their sites and we don't even charge them for it, but we're not as effective on B2B sites because a lot of the questions that we get are just people asking specific questions about their SEO services, their pay-per-click services. And we can answer questions one level deep, but when they ask multiple follow-up questions, it kind of falls apart and they get frustrated when we don't know the answers as well. But we're on a lawyer site. People aren't asking deep questions because they know they're not going to get a legal answer from the chat person.
Correct.
So it just goes a lot smoother. So usually on B2B sites, we get about 20% more leads, but we don't really like going on B2B sites unless we have to.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the origin of your company. I know that you and Nick got together at a shared office space, and he had an idea, you had an idea. It's kind of like Reese's peanut butter cups. It's like, hey, who put the peanut butter in my chocolate? Who put the chocolate in my peanut butter? So tell me about how that actually came together.
Sure. Well, it started as a different iteration for a company. I had a small marketing agency, about 10, 15 clients in the Boston area. All my clients were using chat, but we were trying a few different services. Some of the services I was getting really frustrated with because they wouldn't do what I tell them to do. So we said, hey, let's beat chat. So we created this product that would basically pop up and say, enter your phone number, we'll call you right away. And we said, we're going to blow chat out of the water. So we ran a bunch of A/B tests and lost. Went back to the drawing board, ran a whole bunch of A/B tests, lost. We did about 5 or 6 iterations of it, lost every time. So we said, all right, can't beat them, let's join them. So then we started our own chat company. I started answering all the chats. I customized it based on the rules that I wanted to see that the companies I was using wouldn't. Quickly had to hire because those chats come in at all hours of the day. Mm-hmm. Had a team of 2 or 3 agents and myself, and it's not easy answering chat. So I was chat agent number 1. And then so we started with my 10, 15 clients and kind of grew it from there. We're now on around 1,100 around the country.
This is great. What a great story. I mean, I love the idea. And again, Nice Guy community, go over to the website. We'll put a link in the show notes so that you have access to it. But I mean, everything is pretty transparent right on the site. You talk about, the price for lead capture or the price for qualified leads. Is it qualified leads or just leads?
Qualified leads. We let the business or firm determine exactly what leads they paid for. So they only pay for leads they want.
What's the downside? I look at it and think, what is the downside here? You have a great model for not only how you provide your services, but how you charge for your services too. Because is it a flat fee and then a cost per lead? How do your fees work?
Strictly flat, depending on how you use us. We have a few different services we offer. The main one is the human powered chat. A lot of agencies that are partners also use us for call tracking as well. If they use us for call tracking without chat, there's a fee. But if they use us with chat and call tracking is free. Aside from that, it's strictly per qualified lead. So no flat fees, no hidden costs. If we get them a lead and they market it and they say it's a qualified lead, they pay an amount at the end of the month for that lead.
What price point of service do you think is ideally? I mean, you named a couple of industries that you're in, and they don't have $2 books that they're selling. They usually are selling pretty high end services. What typically, if you have to do a cross section of your clients, what would be a good fee for service that somebody would be charging on the lead gen side? So just again, Nice Guy community, so you're aware. There's services out there. You can buy a $2 book if somebody is a lead, or there's services that somebody, after multiple calls, they could buy a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. The lifetime value of a client could be $50,000 or $100,000. That, of course, would be a lot, a huge advantage to that. So what works best for you?
Great question. So that's something that we do a lot of digging on. So we find success where the LTV, lifetime value of a new client, patient, sale, deal, resident, whatever, is $500 or more. So if it's less than $500, it doesn't make sense to use us because we're too expensive. If you're going to sell a $30 pizza, you don't want to pay for us for chat. But if you're selling a $500 service or more, then it's a good fit. So our lower cost ones, we have a lot of plumbers garage repairs. That's about as low as we get cost wise. And then everything up from there. Like we have a lot of PI firms, in high value roofing, that's a $20,000-$30,000 roof. So anywhere between 500 and up.
Yeah, that's again really cool for those in our community that have a service that is of that level, and you have enough volume that you feel would warrant doing something like this. And again, I can't, I tried to, and again, with all transparency, Ted and his partner Nick are new turnkey clients and just going through the podcast launch phase with us, and we so appreciate it. And I was looking through his services, which I oftentimes will do in the process of trying to figure out, does he fit in our culture? Does he fit into what we do? And it's like, I'm looking at the model and thinking, what a freaking amazing model. And it's kind of a safe investment for someone to like, I'm trying to figure out, I'm poking as many holes as I can. Why wouldn't somebody want to use what you do?
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, we wanted to make it as easy as possible because we know once we sign up a client and they see how effective it is, and it's not effective. A lot of times people think about it from customer service, like, oh, it's customer service. No, we're not a chat company. We're a company that gets you more leads. Chat is just how we do it. And we need to prove that to everyone. So we use the 30-day free trial to prove how effective it is. And then we know once we get them, they're going to be happy and stay with us for the life of their business.
Amazing. Okay. So we've shared a little bit about the service. We've shared a little bit about how your model works. What am I not asking you that I should be asking you? So somebody might be interested in clicking and seeing a little bit or hearing a little bit more about what you do.
Sure. Go to juvoleads.com, grab some time, chat with, I think we have Amy on the website today, or whoever it is.
It was Amy.
Start a conversation.
It was Amy. I tried.
Yeah. For today's Amy. A lot of times people talk about Ted. Well, you're using humans, Chat GPT, Android, bots. What are you guys doing there? And I'll tell you, like we tell everybody right now, as soon as Chat GPT opens up, it's going to kind of change the game, most notably our pricing probably, because then we start going from human powered to then it's a race from all the chat companies to who has the most data. We have, for some clients, we've answered literally tens of thousands of chats. So then it just comes down to how fast can we upload that data and customize and train a program to answer chats for those clients. And it really comes down to, the best ones out there are going to be who has the most data. For our clients currently, no one has the data that we do. We know what questions people are asking and how to ask them. So we're able to program it as soon as they open that. As of today, ChatGPT and any of those other engines are not limitable, nor are they instanceable, meaning I can't create an instance for a particular client and then limit that chat and train it to answer chats using the data we have. As soon as that date happens, then it's going to be a floodgate. But then it just comes down to who has the best data. And, for our clients currently, I don't think anyone's going to be able to beat us because we've been answering their chats for years and years.
Well, what I love about what you said is that in the case of Chat GPT versus a human powered chat, limitless is actually not good. You don't want it to be limitless, but you want to put up some guardrails so that you have the ability to answer the questions within the parameters of what your client is able to provide. And I love that. I love the idea of, hey, look, AI might be a little too powerful in this particular case. The other thing that I think that people, and you said it just a few moments ago, and I want to just emphasize this is not a customer service process. This is a lead collection, lead generation process. Can you maybe just share, just work on that for just a second? Because I think that you know a lot more about that than I do as it relates to how the service that you provide. Yeah.
So for instance, we work on websites where the people are going there to find out more about the business, potentially hire them. There are some businesses that are more customer support oriented. So for example, we're on a lot of technical support websites, but we're generally only on their landing pages because a lot of times people come and they say, hey, what's the update on my case? Is this computer fixed soon? And they start telling us the technical support questions. We're not there to be customer support. So when they ask us those questions, we said, let me pass this along to the business owner or someone on the operations team so they can answer that for you. We exist purely to get them more leads. It's kind of a different philosophy. And and it's a different fit based on the website they're on. So we're really good on lead gen websites that want more leads and track and know how many leads they get each month. For websites that are having people come and try to do support tickets, not a great fit for us.
Right. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. I love what you're about. I love your attitude. I love when I first met you and Nick, I knew instantly after, literally 3 minutes of conversation that you guys fit into the culture of what we do at TurnKey. And then I'm like, these guys would be great podcasters as well. And I'm glad you took the next step. I'm excited for you to launch your show. I'm really excited about talking to you further about, okay, well, let's see. I don't know that TurnKey qualifies. I don't know we don't qualify. I know we do volume, but I also know that we don't get many leads from our current site, and that might be the fly in the ointment. So we're going to have to figure that out together, and we'll do an analysis of that after the show.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. So Nice Guy Community, if you want any more information about Ted, Nick, the company, all of his, and again, you got to scroll down to the bottom of the page to find the About Me. I was like, I wanted the backstory, but the backstory was at the bottom of the page. I had to go all the way to the bottom to hit the About Me page. But have a very interesting backstory. Take a moment, head over to juvoleads.com. We'll make sure we put a link in the show notes. Ted, thank you so much for sharing, and thanks for being here on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Doug. It was a pleasure.
Nice Guy Community, never underestimate the power of nice or the power of a really good, high qualified lead. Special thanks to Ted. All of his information will be right there in the show notes. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. I've done opens and closes for these bozos for 400 plus episodes. I've moved, I've had plastic surgery, I keep renewing the restraining order, but nothing has worked. They keep on finding me.